start kind of trickling in here. Let's see. So I'm going to have everybody go ahead and mute themselves. And then if you have any questions afterwards, definitely hop on, drop them in the chat, whatever. I want to make sure that I go over this information with you guys and then also have time to answer questions if there's things that aren't making sense. So welcome. I'm excited. This is my first quote unquote webinar. I do Facebook Lives in my group, but kind of wanted to try this a little bit, try to have more time to give you guys some educational reasons, action items to take with you moving forward, how to create progress, how to feel better, how to have more strength and energy, see weight loss without doing this diet culture that we're really taught to do, and how your metabolism really has a huge impact in that. And so that's what this webinar is about. There are a couple things that I want to dive into before I share my screen and go over the presentation I have for you guys. So as you know, we are bombarded with so much information on what we can do to have the body we want or the weight loss we want or the health we want. And so much of it is marketed to us in a way that ultimately is unrealistic for long-term lifestyle changes. Okay. So you do not have a weight loss problem, a energy problem. You have a maintenance problem. A lot of people can get to the results that maybe that they want, but if you go back and you gain that 10 pounds, or you feel like your hormones have hit the dirt again, or you have an autoimmune disorder and that starts really showing up again, then really you didn't find something that was going to be sustainable for you for long term and that you could keep those results for life. And so that is where the difference is between the diet and marketing industry that we are bombarded with today, and then working on creating a lifestyle that gives you the results that you desire, but you know that you're going to keep for the rest of your life. And so you have a couple action items here. So you have registered for this event and you have shown up. You have checked those two off of your list. Now I want you to be ready to be educated. The last one and the most difficult one is going to be implementation. I want you to take this information and I want you to go and put it into action and implement it. This is going to be a huge waste of your time if you don't, right? Because you want to be able to make changes. And the only way we're going to make changes is by implementing what we're going to learn today. So you may be an action taker or you don't have to be, but just know that not taking action comes with its consequences. So we're going to dive into it. So I'm going to share my screen here. And we are going to do this. All right. So can everybody see this boost your metabolism with spring page? Give me a thumbs up, drop a yes in the comments so I know you guys can see it. Perfect. Awesome. All right. So spring is here. Feels like summer today in my neck of the woods, but spring is here. We are about, I don't know, when is summer's June-ish? I don't know. I consider June summer. So we're about 60 days from summer-ish weather, 90 days from really like boat weather, hot summer weather, right? So what can we do with these 90 days to create success by boosting our metabolism? That is what we're going to talk about tonight. I want to share a little bit first, though, about who I am and why you should even be listening to me, why I try to advocate and be an education source in the space. So I have had Crohn's disease since I was 19 years old, so 11 years. Really, really was a tough time in my life. Lots of doctor's appointments. I pretty much was put on medication every time I went to the doctor. very, very sick, very, very frail. Uh, you could call, I look like a melted candle, you could say. So no muscle mass, like was not able to eat, just really kind of like sickly looking, and just wasn't getting any guidance from the medical field. So went into kind of working on my own health and energy and changing my lifestyle because they told me to quit. Like they were like, just accept this as your new normal and this is your life now and you probably shouldn't do the hobbies that you want to do. So this is just going to be what it is. And so that was not working for me. Dove into this health, wellness, working on improving my overall quality of health. And I have gained muscle and strength and stamina. I don't kill myself doing cardio like was first told I should do, go run on the treadmill for 2.5 hours. I don't do that. I do not have any food guilt. I love my food. My food and I have a very special relationship. And I went from not being able to eat because it made me so sick to binging and having that relationship with food to now understanding and realizing that food is our fuel and it powers me to do the things that I want to do. And so that's kind of like a little snippet of my journey and how I've gotten to where I am. So now I want to take that information and that power that I've learned with for myself and help others have that in their life too. So we're going to have a little game of raise your hand if. So you can drop a yes in the comment, raise your hand, virtual hand on here, whatever you want to do. But raise your hand if you have lost weight before, but it definitely came back. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Raise your hand if you have said that even if you look at a cookie, you're going to gain weight. Getting a lot of yeses here. All right. Raise your hand if you thought finding the results you wanted meant you had to cut out carbs completely. Goodbye, carbs. They're out of our life for good. All of the above. We're hitting the yeses. Yeah, because carbs are bad, right? Wrong. We love carbs. We love carbs. That's why I have pancakes on the side. All right. Raise your hand if you're scared of eating too many carbs or too much sugar. Literally been fearmongered into that. Lots and lots of yeses. Okay. Well, that is definitely something that we have been kind of educated to stay. This might hurt a little bit, but it's not the quality of food. It definitely plays a factor, but cutting out carbs, cutting out food groups, enjoying cookies on occasion, things like that, that is not what's keeping you from your results. Also, the pills, the detoxes, and the fad diets that everybody's lining up for, Ozempic, Optavia, Weight Watchers is jumping on that bandwagon. Oprah Winfrey is all over this shot craze of creating weight loss results with a shot, pills, whatever, detox cleanses, do the juice fast, whatever it may be. This is not going to create sustainable results. You might see that scale drop the way you think you want it to, right? But it's always going to come back. It always comes back up. And unfortunately, the healthy habits and the lifestyle changes are what is going to create those results long term. But our healthcare system doesn't talk about it. It's definitely not what's marketed to us on TV and our ads on Instagram and Facebook because it's not easy, right? It's hard. And that is not what is going to keep lining their bank accounts is if we're trying to work on improving our lifestyle and our healthy habits. So this picture shows it perfectly. Everybody wants the easy route, but the easy route is not the easy route. It's the slow route. So we are going to go over tonight how we're going to boost your metabolism by still having your favorite foods without having to do hours of cardio, being a cardio bunny, as they say, or starving yourself. We're going to build your strength, increase your energy, and then ultimately that is going to lead to the type of weight loss that you want. And then that makes that last forever because it is sustainable. So I am a nutrition and wellness coach, and I own a business called Amp Recovery. And this is just some of the before and after pictures of progress that people have made over the course of working with me. We really work on learning how to live a flexible dieting lifestyle. And I use dieting for lack of better terms, but it's really not dieting. You learn how to have a flexible relationship with food, still attain the body that you want, the lifestyle that you want, but it's realistic for the way that their progress and their lifestyle can benefit. So one of my clients here, Cassie, for example, phase 1 of our program is metabolic restoration and getting you feeling better. For years, she yo-yo dieted, eating extremely low calories, 1,400 calories a day. We got her up to eating 2,100 calories. One of the best things she told me was, Anastasia, I feel like I can eat with my family again. I feel like I don't have to feel guilty for sitting down with my kids and my husband and enjoying a meal. And these are just progress pictures. These are 90-day progress pictures. We went from 1,400 calories in picture 1 to 2,100 calories on picture 2. Her energy has increased. Her recovery, her sleep's increased. She is so excited about the fact that she has the energy to keep up with her kids during the day. And she's found this whole new passion for strength training. So just a really nice example of putting those steps and those habits into your lifestyle, and being able to eat food. Like, that's my biggest thing, is like, let's get you eating food. It makes me so happy to see people eating. So hang on till the end of this webinar. I've got a free gift with you guys. Summer is on the way, and so I put together an alcohol tracking cheat sheet. That might not always be what should, alcohol might not always be in line with your goals, but it shouldn't be something that we restrict, cut out. If we choose that we want to have a cocktail on the boat, I'm here to help you pick some ones that are going to be some lower calorie options. So that is going to be, I'll drop that in the chat when we get to the end of this. So another case study here is my client, Rory. Same thing. Him and Cassie both came from Optavia. I can never remember that name, but they both came from Optavia. So super, super low. Oh, look at this. Rory's hopping in right now. He's going to be shocked when he sees his picture on here. So he came from Optavia, super, super low calories, eating. I was being generous with the 1,200 calories. He really was averaging between like 8 to 1,000 calories a day, needing energy drinks to get through the day, just chronically exhausted, and honestly just wanted to feel better because he is a snowmobiler. He has a grandbaby that he wants to take out and be there for and show her the ropes of riding. And he wants to be in the best shape he can be to do that with her when she gets older. So during our time together so far, and this is an ongoing journey with Rory, he has gained 5 pounds, but he's lost inches around his weight. He's lost body fat. He gets scans done once a month, every other month. And we're seeing a body fat decrease and increasing muscle mass. And so this is just another testament to when you put forth the effort of fueling your body and listening to your metabolism and restoring that metabolism the way it needs to be, you can have the opportunity to eat more food, but still create results like this. And he's 59, best shape he's been in years, and this is really just the beginning for him. So, Rory, you jumped in right right at the right time. I was going through my case studies and you happened to be on it. So thanks for hopping on the call. But yeah, he's crushing it. And so just another example of eating more food, but doing it in a way that is going to fuel you and give you the results that you want. So I'm going to go over a few strategies. So this is where you want to get your notebooks out, pen and paper, if you want to take notes on what you're going to be implementing. But we're going to go over 3 specific strategies to create those results and get that understanding of what your metabolism is and why it is so, so important to your weight loss journey, increasing your strength, increasing your energy, and overall training your body to use the food as fuel, which is the purpose of us eating, right? It's the fuel that we need to get us through the day, but our metabolisms are pretty much the engine light on whether it's going to work. So, strategy 1, we're going to learn about eating more, not less, move less, not more, and then how to enjoy your favorite foods without going into a binge. And that is something that really affects a lot of people, is that lack of self-control. But there's actually some physical action items that you can put into place to keep yourself from doing that. And so we're going to go over that a little bit. So I'm going to talk about what your metabolism is. And I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I kind of get ranting and then it gets a little bit like eyes glazed over look, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I love talking about your metabolism. I've said it a couple times. Our metabolism is our fuel for our body. So it's just like a car, you know, if we want our race engine to run at its best and we want 91 octane non-ethanol fuel going on there, like we want the best and we also need enough. And so our metabolisms are the same way. Another way I like to explain it is a fire. We want a big roaring fire in our metabolism because we want it to be consuming what we're putting in and using it for energy sources, for our muscle repair, for what it was designed to do. When we eat, it's supposed to fuel us, it's supposed to serve us. And so we need to make sure our metabolism is knowing what to do with those calories. So a little bit about what calories in versus calories is. Calories in versus calories out. Sorry, can't talk. So you have a lot of different ways that our bodies burn calories, but I bet you don't know that you think that if you go to the gym, that's the most way you're going to burn calories, and that's actually not true. We have a BMR, and that is what is actually burning the majority of our calories, if you can see on this graph. So our BMR is just your basic metabolic rate. That is literally, if you were to sit on the couch all day, do nothing, those are the calories that your body needs to survive. It's pumping our blood through our heart, it's working our lungs, all of our organs, the tissue cells, us blinking our eyes, swallowing. That's what our BMR is, literally just survival. And so our bodies need a specific amount of calories just for our bodies to be able to function properly throughout the day, even if we did nothing. When we're sleeping, we're burning calories. Our heart's beating, we're snoring, whatever. But that is something, and it's the most thing that we take into account. So then next you have this up here called NEAT. And this is 15%. This is just our day-to-day activities. Gardening, walking to the mailbox, walking at work, cooking dinner, doing the dishes, vacuuming. All these day-to-day activities is what makes up our NEAT. And so that is another aspect that we are burning calories. The thing is that activity, those day-to-day activities actually make up more than our time at the gym. Our eat is our gym time. So 5%, 5% of our calories burned is at the gym. Now, you can burn more calories, obviously, depending on your style of training or whatever. But overall, at the end of the day, how active you are throughout the day, and your BMR are going to make up the vast, vast, vast majority of your calories burning. And so, even if you're not in a position mentally or physically where you're ready to go to the gym yet, you can increase your activity by just going for a walk. That's what we start with a lot of our clients, is just going for a walk if they're not quite ready to get into that working out and making that routine yet. This last one here is the TEF, is the thermic emission food. And ultimately, it's what your body uses to process the food you're eating. So our body actually burns calories while we're eating. And so that makes up 10% of our calories burned. And so it's not something that people go into a lot, but it makes more up than the gym time does. So and so that's another nice thing to remind, even while I'm eating, my body's burning calories. There's certain foods that you want to eat more of, and that TEF will increase because it requires your body more work to process those food sources. And so your body's working harder, and so you're burning more calories. And I'm going to save that one to the end. So be prepared for that. All right. So one of the things that I talk about a lot with my clients and in the Facebook group is our metabolism, and we were created for survival. So we are not created to be, this 5% body fat that you see on social media, just ripped, shredded people. We were not designed for that. We were created to survive. And so if we're not fueling our metabolism appropriately, if we're not feeding it appropriately, then our metabolism is going to start to adapt, and it's going to adapt to survive. And so it's going to focus on the main things. It's going to focus on making sure that you're breathing, making sure your heart's pumping, making sure that you can live. Your metabolism is not going to focus on where your body fat is, or putting muscle in certain places you want, or giving you the energy to get through the day, because it just wants to wake up tomorrow. And so we have to think about our metabolism in that aspect instead of, what can we do to restrict? We want to talk about what we can do to fuel that metabolism and make sure that it's working appropriately. So if you are in a position where your metabolism, you're eating extremely low calories, you have a lot of weight gain, and you can't figure out why because you don't eat any food, there could be a lot of things that need to be worked on before you can go into a focused fat loss phase. And so we need to make sure that you are eating your calories at least at your BMR, and then we have to factor in your activity level. And so there's a lot that goes into really understanding what exactly you should be eating calorically. But once we get you there, we need to keep you there for a little bit and let your body know that, hey, we're going to feed you and we're going to take care of you. And then your metabolism will start talking to you again. You'll start getting those hunger signals back. This is all really, really important to do before you go into a fat loss phase for a couple reasons. If you try and continue to cut down your calories, your body is just going to continue to adapt. Your metabolism will continue to adapt to you cutting down those calories. And fat loss will continue to slow down because of the fact that your body is going into survival mode. And that's where a lot of people will quit seeing progress with those, prepackaged programs, those really low calorie programs, because you see results in the beginning, but then your metabolism adapts to it and it slows down, and then you're not seeing those results anymore. So once we get you up to the calories that we need to have you at, then we're going to keep you there for a little bit, get you used to that, set that foundational habit of creating that. And this is completely opposite of what you've probably been told. This is completely opposite of what you probably have done in the past. And so it might feel like you're taking one step forward and 10 steps back. But what you're doing is you're giving your body the opportunity to heal. You're giving it the opportunity to increase your metabolism, increase your hunger signals, fuel itself properly. And then you'll start noticing that this occurrence and what you want and the physical aspects that you want are going to happen way, way faster. This is what happened with my client here. We got her up to her maintenance calories. We kept her there for a while. She worked on her relationship with food while we were in that. We worked on other things while we were in that maintenance phase. And then when she was ready to enter a deficit, I mean, it was like melted butter coming off. It was like ice melting in a room, you know. She lost 60 pounds in the course of 6 months. Just and we weren't even in a cut phase the whole entire time. We worked on her metabolism first. And so this is how you create those results and then keep them, right? We want to keep them. We don't want to just have them for a little bit and then go back. So yeah, and then this is just, we want to make sure that we stay in that maintenance phase for a little bit and give our body that time that it needs to heal. So that was strategy number one. So number one is getting yourself up to your maintenance calories, keeping yourself there for a little bit. And when you start noticing that your sleep's improving, your hunger signals are coming back, your stress is better, you have more energy through the day, regardless of what the scale says, then that is when you're going to want to start looking at, the next options, which would be cutting your calories down. But really, like right now, that is what you want to focus on. That is priority. So let's get into step 2 and 3 on how to not look like a melted candle. So I hear it all the time. I see it on social media all the time. Strength training is not going to make you look like the Hulk. I personally have been on this journey for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. And I want to look like the Hulk, and I am far from it. So, strength training versus cardio for the win, always. There's a couple reasons. I'm going to go to this next slide here. So, strength training burns more calories than cardio does, and so you don't have to spend as much time in the gym. It's like more bang for your buck. Our bodies adapt differently to strength training than cardio. We want to build muscle. We do not want to pare down muscle. So when we do a lot of cardio and we do a lot of running, that's all we do. Our bodies are going to pare down on muscle and store body fat because it's, again, trying to survive. And if you think about runners, they don't have a lot of muscle on them, and they do have stored body fat because their bodies are preparing for long distance runs. You're not going to see, the Hulk out doing a marathon, right? So our bodies adapt to how we train it. And so when we are looking at, I hate being a comparison. We never want to compare ourselves, but if we are looking for a certain aesthetic look, I guarantee you that person's going to have a lot more muscle on than you think they do. Because in order for us to see that definition, we have to put it on. It has to be there. And the only way that we can do that is if we're feeding ourselves in strength training. Also, fun fact, side note, cardio burns calories while we are doing it. Strength training burns calories while we are doing it and then continues to burn calories for 60 minutes, I believe it is, after our training. So again, strength training has more bang for your buck because you're going to continue to burn calories after you're done. It also is really like the number one best way to shed body fat because we have our heart rate up and it's just adapting in a different way. And then we're building a muscle and building that foundation that we want. Okay. So strategy number 3 is protein. And if you have been in any of my stuff, I talk about protein all the time because I feel like nutrition wise, it is the number one thing that most people are lacking in their diet. We do not eat enough. Protein makes us feel fuller longer. It helps us cut those cravings, and then it also helps us build muscle. It helps repair the muscle, it helps build it, but we do not eat enough. So when we're talking about eating protein, we want to aim for 1 gram per 1 pound of our goal body weight. If that is too much for you right now, then just aim for a minimum of a fist size of protein at each meal. If that is like, if you are not familiar with tracking, if you're not familiar with getting enough protein in, like most people are like 30 to 50 grams of protein a day. So if getting up your protein that high is going to be too much, then just aim for a fistful at each meal. Okay. That is going to be a great place to start. Also, this is how you stop with the evening binges. This is how you stop with the overeating of your favorite foods. When we have a protein forward diet, it cuts those cravings down. And so we can still have those things, but our body is satiated from the protein that we've been eating. And so as long as our physical state is okay with having a smaller amount or just some of it, then we are not going to crave it because we are having protein forward and it cuts cravings. It is like the golden hack when it comes to that kind of stuff. Also, I said that there was one thing that burnt more calories when our body was processing it, and it's protein. Our bodies have to work harder to digest the protein. So you burn more calories while you're eating protein, and you also are eating more food. So it's like all a big win because we all love food. So, so really honestly, like if you are super new to wanting to make lifestyle changes, start with your protein. Like get an understanding of what you overall are having for calories, and then start with working on increasing your protein. And you're going to start noticing body composition changes and craving changes. That is like for sure guaranteed. So that is what I have. So I have a couple things for you guys on here. I really appreciate you hopping on and being a part of this. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm going to drop in the alcohol cheat sheet that I told you about. So it's 4 pages and it goes in to, what alcohol does to your body. At the end of the day, it is a carcinogenic. And so our bodies don't love it. But who doesn't love a mojito on the boat in the summer? I am all for it. I'm a gin and tonic girl, actually, but I'm gonna drop this in here, and it's gonna help you kind of learn like what it means when you're having alcohol, what it means calorically, and then also for those of you on here, so my one-on-one clients, you guys are like in this, you totally understand it, you know what's up. So you don't have to fill out this survey. If there's any questions that you guys have, shoot me a message or drop it in the chat here, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. But for anybody else, if you're like, yes, I want to repair my metabolism, I understand what I mean, what you mean when I say I need to fuel myself, but girl, I don't even know where to start. Fill out this questionnaire. We'll hop on a call and I'll give you some action items to take. Okay. No charge. Like I want to help you guys. I want to get you feeling better and putting this action items into step for the summer. Okay. And so it's super important to me that if there's something that you need some help with, that I can be that person for you. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. And is anybody have any questions? How are you guys feeling? Was it like clear as mud? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to drop some links in the chat here for you guys. Because I want to make sure that I get you all the goodies. This has been super fun. At the same time, this always stresses me out so stinking bad. I love it. I love it. Then I'm like, I hope I'm not just talking in circles. Okay. So this is the cheat sheet that I just dropped in the chat. So that's for everybody. And then let me drop this for you. Oh, that's okay. Life with kids, right? Life with kids. It goes by so fast, time. All right, cool beans. Okay, did everybody get those links? Are we good? Does anybody have any questions? Did I do okay for my first webinar? Did it make sense? You want to refire your metabolism? Lisa's like, girl, mine's been through the burner, but we got her working now. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome, you guys. Okay. Okay. We're going to wrap it up if nobody has any questions, but I do need a thumbs up that you guys all got the links, because and you can drop it in the chat or you can put it on the screen, whatever. Because I don't want you to lose these, because you guys showed up and I appreciate you. Perfect. Awesome. You don't have them, Lisa? No? Okay. I'll send it to you. I got you. Rory's got it. Cool beans. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate you showing up. I know that the emails kind of got a little hairy. I'm on a new service and apparently it doesn't work. I am not making it work as well as it could. So appreciate you guys on here. But yeah, fill out that questionnaire. Let's get some action items. I would love it if you guys could hop into the Facebook group and share what you're going to apply this week. Like let's hear it. Let's be a support for everybody. If you found this webinar valuable, if it was worth your time, please drop it in the Facebook group. And let's crush this week. So happy Monday, peeps. I'll see you in the group and I'll see my peoples tomorrow night. All right. Later.